Hey, another video for you guys. Gary here from Ska 3D. Just another part I developed for laser engraving. I use these all the time, especially lining up any centers on anything, because I prefer to use my absolute coordinates. You'll know what that is if you laser. Especially if I'm doing center points on I need an exact center point. I prefer doing absolute so I can get it to where I need it. But here's what I did is I made these squares. It's a little small T-square. I know it looks simple and you're like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. But it's such a useful tool because I can use this, I can mark on it, mark super well, erases. I use Windex and a smart eraser to get rid of any pencil marks on it. But it's flexible, thin, so my laser goes over the top when I'm marking stuff, and it kind of conforms to any material I need. Then with this lip on here, I can slide along either the material, I can slide along my bed here, I can go on the bed and slide it back and forth and stay square if I'm doing super thin material, or I have these other squares and I use these a lot on the bed, and these slide right along the track of that. And as you can see, the thickness, how thin they are, it lets the laser go over the top of everything. It's like a perfect solution for getting the center marks and just anything. I use them all the time. So I'll show you a quick demonstration. I'll get rid of this stuff. These are all the colors I have. Trying to be quick here, sorry. So here's what I do. When this square goes on, it goes against my grid and it's like right against the edge. So I know now I know any material I put on here is square. So that goes in there, and I like to do these bottle openers. These bottle openers are super cool. They're metal with a leather. They engrave like amazing. So now when I put it on the bed, and when I put it on the bed, it stays square no matter what. And it stays square because it's in my magnetic square that I have down to the honeycomb grid. I sell those squares on Etsy also, $24.95. These ones are $9.95. I'm just going to stop quick and give you my Etsy and Shopify. My Shopify is ska3d.myshopify.com. My Etsy is ska3dshop.etsy.com. Thank you. So here's my square. So I got this all centered up. I already marked the center on my green square here just to make it quicker and easier. So I line up my laser on the center of the mark I already have coming down on the vertical. And then I have this horizontal mark on the side over here, and I use that for the edge of my square, and I put a center mark on my square, so now I know my laser, when I mark this, my laser comes down to the center. I know that's the center, if that makes sense. So there's my edge, I already have a center mark. So now I know my crosshairs were on the horizontal and the vertical mark, so I know I'm centered no matter what. If I do 30 of these, whatever, they're gonna be in the same spot every single time. The next one that comes in, I take it out, goes back in. I know that stays on the center mark, that comes down. There you go, it's that easy. But you can see how that slides up and down, moves around. It's super, super useful. I'm gonna show you another useful part. Just bear with me a second. So another square, but the same. But I put this on. When I do a lot of engraving charcuterie boards. I'm trying to make this so you can see it a little bit better, okay? So I got this charcuterie board right here. 8" by 8 1/8 inch. Put it in. What I do to get my center, if I'm doing 10 of these, I'll put a piece of tape on, take my tape measure, pencil, get my center mark. So I already know I'm 4 1/16 this way because it was 8 1/8. And I'm 4 inches this way because I know it was 8 inches. So I'll take one square because it's not a perfect square. If it's a perfect square, one square can do everything. So I'll take one. I usually use my white one for left to right for some reason. I'll mark my center on my square, flip it around, make sure my center is my center, and you can see I can slide up and down. So that's that one. Then I take my top and bottom, mark it, flip it upside down to know I'm square again. You can see I mark back and forth. Okay, take the tape off, adjust my laser height, So now when I come back down, I have my mark on my square. I can put my crosshairs right on that. Now I know I'm centered up and down this way. And then left to right, remember the white square is my left to right, there's my mark. I slide on the edge, and now I know I hit my mark. I can see it right through there. Now I know I'm exactly centered on this piece of material. And now the next piece of material I put in the same size, same thing. I line it up, hit that mark, line this one up. I can already see it over here. I don't even have to go back and forth. I'm centered. You can see how easy it is. It's a great device. I'm going to show you one more. I do tumblers that I use these all the time. Just hang on there. Get rid of this. So I always use this, my rotary chuck in here. Put my tumblers in. I'm not going to set it up. You don't need to see that at the moment. Set my height. Kind of already set the same. So here's what I do on these. I've already put a piece of tape on here. So say I'm doing 10 of these, right? My grid in here, I have a square. I don't know if you can see it in the thing. I have a square cut in here. Like it's a grid line. So I know and I did it with the laser machine, so I know it's exactly square. I line my rotary machine up on any of the lines work. And then I'll show you a different video on how to do tumblers on leveling and circumference and all that kind of stuff. But just for the use of this tool, I'm going to show you again like how easy and how like simple this is. Grab one that's not marked yet. So I've already marked the center of my tumbler. So I'm at 140 millimeters. So I'm marking at 70 millimeters as my center. Put that aside. Take my square, hook it on the bottom wherever, top, bottom. Bottom works best for me. But you can see how like my square will go anywhere. It's like great. Mark it. Now I know. Take the tape off. So if I'm doing a bunch of these, and again, it doesn't matter where you are on the thing, on the bed. I put it on. Put that. I know that's my center because I already marked it. Laser comes over. I visually go line it up on the highest point this way. It's not really, doesn't have to be perfect. But there you go. That's how simple it is. So in closing, $9.95, a great tool. If you buy one, I know you will message me telling me how fantastic they are. I'm pretty confident in that anyway. Hope to see you on my shop and wait for the next video. I'll probably put one out tomorrow on doing tumblers. Thank you.